Hi, my name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to my channel, Sassy Seer Sheila. So I alluded to the fact that I was going to give like an update, I guess, on what's been transpiring for me because I've been so quiet. Because I do know that while there's not a lot of subscribers on this channel currently, a lot of folks who used to follow my other channels are catching there are some who've never left, right, from the very beginning. I know it's been weird since Conscious Conversation Central went away, because it has been for me. As those of you who followed me through the various iterations of channels that I've had uh, are aware of why they were taken down. Ostensibly, because I still am not really clear how it is that a 62-year-old grandma who is sharing her life's journey with people and what she thinks about things is so dangerous that it has to be taken down. But okay. Which goes to the point, I think, as to why I haven't been here a lot. It's become very clear to me personally that every being on this planet has a purpose and a path known only to themselves and their higher portion of themselves, however that looks for them. And given my own experience, okay, from being at death's door 10 years ago to where I am now, by changing one thing, first of all, and that was my hydration level. I had a conversation with a friend the other day in which I shared openly with her that here locally with my friends and family for a while, I was known as the water Nazi. Similar to the soup Nazi, only I never denied water to anyone. So it was because regardless of what the malady was, my very first question was always, well, how much water are you drinking? Because of what it did for me, right? So that experience of being at death's door for more than 10 years, not being cognizant of the people around me, even honestly, and moving from that unconscious state to what I will describe now as being more super conscious than ever before and more present in my physical vessel than ever before. And seeing how the loved ones and friends witnessed the changes because they were so drastic in me. But there was something blocking that absorption of what happened for me, to allowing it to inform them, right? Oh, well, that's you. And I really, and so again, this, I started that journey 10 years ago, a little more than 10 years ago. And from that time to this, all my observations, all the puzzle pieces that I've collected now in this 10 years tells me that no one can hear or understand until they're ready to hear and understand. There's lots of different things blocking the way. This is the only thing for me that can explain. So it's my hypothesis, because I'm always open to new puzzle pieces being presented to me to inform me, because being 62, hindsight is a hell of a thing to be able to honestly view and allow it to inform, what we actually are, right? So for me, that has been part and parcel why I haven't been here, right? Why I haven't been doing lives and sharing my stuff, because it kind of seemed like I said, I look around at um my situation and my experience, and I know that until a person is ready to consider something, because it flies maybe in the face of everything they've ever known, this is a hard thing, right? And I know too that I finally took responsibility for myself, and that's a big step as well, right? So all of what I've been doing on my personal health journey, because that's how it started for me, health journey that has now turned into the path, the journey, because it is a path to finding out exactly who the hell I think I am. And boy, am I being shown all over the place, who we actually are. And then, so I've been thinking about this, right? I feel the pull. I know there are those of you out there that feel that you're very grateful that I'm willing to share these things. And I guess I've just sort of 22 is such a blur. 23 was the year of, well, between 22 and 23, I've had several conversations with death. As the body continues to upgrade and change in ways that are quite surprising in some ways, and but I've learned not to become alarmed by things that are happening, because this too shall pass, right? At any rate, so this is what's been on my mind. And then I received, now I was gifted a subscription to Sophia Love's subscription newsletter, but she also has a complimentary version. And I encourage everyone to go to sophialove.org and sign up for all that you feel called to sign up for there. This is her free complimentary version, and you can receive it in your email as well. And I'm not going to read the entire email. I wanted to share with you her conversation with one. It is an entity that she channels. She's written several books about it that you can find on Amazon. And if you've been following me a while, you know that any of her complimentary versions I already have permission to record and share. So please, but I'm not always nudged to do that. So please do go. And as a matter of fact, it's been quite some time since I've felt led to share anything from one. But this one, I could not unsee the synchronicity of the timing of how I was feeling inside about just, maybe it was time to put the YouTube thing down, because I haven't been here. I do still want to finish this book, which I'm going to record some today. So, this is a bit of an, I couldn't not share this. Okay. So she does say here, today's conversation contains a phrase we've all heard, quote, the eye of the storm. It is used here in a matter of fact way, suggesting that we are in it. It is not stated to cause fear. We can all feel the momentum building. It is an encouraging message and one, I believe, that will comfort you. Having grown up in Florida, we were always told it's just the eye of the storm, just because it gets calm for a moment. Uh, don't rest on your laurels, kind of thing, because the back end of the storm is coming around. And I feel that is what this is referring to. She also shares her the it's called Straight Talk that she does on her channel. There will be links to everywhere to find Sophia in the show more section of this video. And she also shares a video from Greg Braden, who is, I just love everything from Greg Braden. So, and she does say to share this complimentary edition of the newsletter. So I know that it is okay for me to record this. So it begins with one saying, "It is the one." And Sophia says, "Thank you." And one goes on to say, "You find yourselves approaching the quote, eye of the storm. First, remember that you are prepared and in a position not to be tossed around or thrown about. You'll know what to do and when." And I want to say to you that that is something that Lisa's team has told her for years when she's asked many times, what's my role? What am I supposed to be doing? Worry about it. You will know exactly what to do in the moment that you are to do it. And, I've thought a lot about that for myself. And I look back again over my life and I see where that has actually been true for me in emergency situations and has worked rather well. I'm quite good in an emergency situation. I snap in, I know what to do. Even if I don't know what to do, I know what to do. Does that make any sense? I don't know, but it feels that way to me. And I think this really does apply to all of us. It is whatever our own beliefs are about ourselves, one goes on to say, what may assist in these moments before the onslaught is a review of not only who you are, but also why you are here now. And that's been a lot of what I've been doing. So now you see why I was nudged to share this with you. You arrived to assist and also to implement a steep rise in personal growth. You are here for the collective. That collective includes you. There is never a single purpose or isolated reason in physical life, for you are always interacting with someone or something. What approaches will feel or may feel overwhelming and beyond your ability to affect? Again, that's exactly how I've been feeling. Like, what the hell am I going to do? I haven't even been able to affect anybody in my own personal life. So what makes me think that I got anything for anybody, right? I'm going to be honest with you. That's exactly what I've been going through. And so I'm going to repeat that. What approaches will feel or may feel overwhelming and beyond your ability to affect? It would be a mistake to assume you have no control. For that is not the case. In truth, you have all the control for what transpires in your own life, and you have always held this control. No, I'm sorry, and you have held this control always. I want to make sure I'm using one's words, and I feel like that is true, right? We kid ourselves that we don't have control over, but the only thing I know I have 100% control over is me. That's the only thing. That is truly the only thing. Back to what one has to say here. The onslaught will be the crumbling of the matrix. If you can visualize all of the systems and people who hold up the matrix, you will have an idea as to what and who has to fall. It is meant to be a controlled collapse. And I want to I think about that because honestly, that's what I feel like we've been seeing. It is a controlled collapse because the stuff that's happening is so nonsensical that it can't be any other thing to me anyway. So it is meant to be a controlled collapse, which is what has taken so very long. Above all, life perpetuates itself, and this will appear in many ways. It could look like desperate attempts to renegotiate a system or a process that no longer fits the frequency of New Earth. I feel like this is still where people are trying to do money, even though they're switching it from this kind of money to this kind of money, or whatever anybody wants to try to do there. I feel like that's what this is referring to myself, but then, we all know that what Sheila thinks about that. Back to one, it could also look like miraculous recoveries of those who were harmed by various lethal methods of the corrupted ones. And I feel like that refers to quite a lot, use your own judgment there. And in terms of the astrology that I just recorded and put out, this was also very, again, synchronistic because I'd read that first and then I'd read this. What approaches will be breathtaking in its speed and finality? This kind of thing asks for experienced travelers to successfully navigate through it and then lead others. These experienced ones are you and your brethren reading announcements like this and or holding love above everything else. This is why you are here. You have been through similar moments and have emerged wiser, stronger, and braver than before. You chose to be here now to assist a race of beautiful beings on their own journey. You are ready because you hold love as a base frequency that you've activated and nurtured against all odds. The frequency that you are is activated more each passing day. The shackles were removed years ago, yet you've been hidden beneath lies and fierce opposition. As the world's population revolts and demands for simultaneous truth and accountability, your role is to hold the light, hold the frequency, and become visible. Your presence in a room is all that is needed. And I'm going to stop here because that whole thing, your role is to hold the light, is all bolded in the words of one. And I know that when Sophia pins this, because this is how she does that, that means that it came through with an intensity. And I felt that intensity as I read that. And I know this to be a true statement. I've witnessed this for myself where energy is concerned. In a room full of people, your energy, your ability to hold the light and the frequency in a room full of lower frequency beings does a thing. You don't even have to open your mouth, but it does a thing. It does something. And when you leave that room, it is felt. It's palpable. It's different. And 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 this is the most important thing. Not waking somebody up, because that's not our job. You can't do it anyway. Whatever seeds have been planted with family members and loved ones of things you feel you know, including the spiritual Christed aspect that is now you, once you know that you are a lensing mechanism for the divine to experience its creation, well, that changes everything. For me, it did anyway. So back to one's words here. You won't have to speak much, and in fact, will, in most cases, be asked to participate. When you are, you will know that the time is right for you to do so. You'll also know what needs to be said and done. So there's a modicum of trusting oneself and allowing that divinity to be channeled through at the proper time. I've said this before. I feel we all channel our divine when we get the ego and the thoughts and the beliefs and the incorrect programming and conditioning. When we step out of that, that's this or that or the other, and stop making assumptions of things that we have no way to prove are false, or it's only a belief. And so, right, I feel like each being will know exactly that. Back to one's words here. It is not your job to wake up the masses. It is your role to provide the frequency and place in which they will wake up themselves. This is how it was for you, and there were others before you who did so. Now, my dear human, it is your turn. Your heart is your primary tool here. Do not fret about where you are located or who you are speaking to. All have chosen the ideal place, moment, and guide. You may only see a few others, yet know that your light is far reaching and felt way beyond your sight. Know that you are needed, and know that you have all that is necessary to complete what it is you came for. This is the message to hold in the coming moments. You have all that you need. You will see, my dear, dear human, you will see. That is all. And Sophia says, thank you. And she, I highly recommend, because I have not in quite some time felt led to record and share a message from the one, from Sophia Love, that comes through Sophia Love. She's written several books. My most favorite of all her books was The Imposter. Again, that is available on Amazon as well. Go to sophialove.org. That's SOPHIA love, LOVE.org, and find out. Take a look around. She's got her blog there. She also writes for Medium. She has her YouTube channel where she's been releasing episodes called Straight Talk, which is questions that have been presented to her blog that she then presents to some of the different entities that she channels. And I'm so grateful that this came to my email just as I was contemplating all these things. And so if you saw the new moon in Pisces video that I did, and now this, you can see why I felt compelled to record this and share it, because when you're sitting alone in your room and you're contemplating these things, and now all of a sudden you start seeing others who are, this is all part of this. This is me in communication with my universe, and my universe showing me the way. Because that's just it. See, what a lot of you may not realize is that in September of 2013, I threw myself down on my knees and I said, all right, that's enough. This is it. I'm a burden on my family. Either take me now or show me the way, because I'm done. I can't do this anymore. That's how bad my health was. I was such a burden on my family. Couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything, couldn't hold my head up. I was at the doctors constantly. And so when things like this are being shown to you, you best be paying attention, because that is what I asked for. And so I wanted to share it with you. I hope this has been helpful. If you're new here and you like what you see or hear, feel free to subscribe or not. This channel is not monetized. It never will be. So liking it and all of that doesn't really matter to me. This has always been, it's actually more therapeutic for me than anything else, but that is partly why I had stopped doing this, because I felt like, well, what is this? Why am I doing this? And I still maintain that this is really just mostly for me. So it's very helpful for me. Whether it is for you or not, who knows? But this way, I'm not forcing myself on anybody. So be well, my friends. I hope that you will move towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you. It is a matter of perspective and how one decides to view something. And it is a decision. For me, it certainly has been. Until we meet again, I hope you will be well, my friends.